Hello and welcome to the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel. I'm Louise Gookie. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Now, today's episode is especially for the creatives, the upcyclers, the DIY dreamers, or just anyone who's ever looked at an old piece of furniture and thought, I could make something beautiful out of that.
This is a lampshade. It's fabric. I just wet it a little bit and painted directly on. I could do it thickly or thinly. Doesn't matter. And look at that. Fabulous, eh?
We're joined by a true icon in the world of home transformation, Annie Sloan. She's not only the inventor of chalk paint, but the woman who kicked off a global movement in creative DIY and upcycling more than 35 years ago. From humble beginnings as a young mum with 3 little ones and no time for complicated prep, Annie created a paint that changed everything. No sanding, no priming, just paint. In this episode, Annie shares the story behind the invention, the reasons it stood the test of time, and why the only thing holding you back from creating something amazing might just be you. So whether you're a seasoned crafter or just curious about how to bring new life to old things, you're going to love this one. Let's check it out.
Hello, I'm Annie Sloan and I invented chalk paint. So what is chalk paint? Well, it's an amazing product because you can paint anything you want. I can paint something like wood, wooden furniture. I can paint tin or any other metal. I can paint plastic, this is a plastic garden pot, ceramics, and a load of other things from, marble, stone, so many other, plastic even. Well, I've got plastic here. So I want to tell you why I invented it, because I was a mother at home. I knew a lot about paint. I'd had a fine art degree, but I couldn't find the paint that would work for me. I wanted it to be quick drying. I wanted it to be able to do lots and lots of textures, and I wanted it to go on lots of surfaces. I was a young mother at the time. I had 3 sons under 10. So I needed it to be quick. I could take my children to school in the morning, come back, paint, finish it all off, and go and collect them at 3. So that was what it was all about. So I wanted it to stick to anything, and I wanted it to be quick drying. So it's water-based. I invented this 35 years ago. It's my anniversary this year of chalk paint. And I wanted it to be very quick drying. And at that time, everything was oil paint, more or less. So coming out with a chalk paint or a water-based paint was very important. I called it chalk because it has, when it's dry, a slightly dry, chalky finish. After you finished it, you coat it with wax, except not on fabric. So the reasons you should be using chalk paint: it's quick drying, it's easy to use, it goes on any surface. And what's more important, it's really sustainable. So all these pieces are upcycling, using old things you may not want anymore. You want to change them around. I've got these in junk shops, or even you'll find these in your own home, things that you want to upcycle and change. So, number 1, how do you paint? And what do you paint? So, a brush. So, normally I'm going to be painting something like this. Now, a wooden piece of furniture. No rubbing, no sanding, no priming, no prepping. You can just go onto it immediately. And that is one of the great things about chalk paint. You don't have to do any of those things. So you can go straight into getting the finished look. So no priming, no sanding, just start painting. And look at that. It more or less covers in one. It's fantastic. So it's very pleasing, and you get there quickly, and it's great. And there's lots of gorgeous colours as well. So next thing is, as I'm painting this, I painted this about an hour ago, completely dry. And this here is nearly dry as well. So that's the other thing. You paint it on and it's nearly dry. And there's also I can also, if I want to, paint texture. That takes a little bit longer to dry, but it's all very quick drying. So why is it sustainable? You can literally paint anything. So this, I painted this earlier today. This is a lampshade. It's fabric. I just wet it a little bit and painted directly on. I could do it thickly or thinly. Doesn't matter. And look at that. Fabulous, eh? Really covers well. This is a jug I used to love, but not so keen now. So I'm going to paint that. So look, paint directly on. Probably with this, because it's very shiny, I might need 2 coats. So I tend to do one thin one, like that, let that dry, and then do my second coat. And it's really quickly dry. This one I would wax afterwards. This one I would wax. This one I wouldn't wax. And this one here. Now this one, I could do a special technique where I've done it a little bit here. I've covered that. But maybe afterwards, I'd like to do something that gives it a little bit of texture. So it looks maybe like old stone. I could get some of my neutrally colours, the greys and the browns, and start dabbing on. And so you've got this lovely built up texture. It's called stippling and it looks great. Or over there, there's a bit of a pattern there. It's just called dry brushing. I could do that and brings it all out. I could put this in the garden like it is now, or I could varnish it or wax it. It's not going to last so well as in the rain, but it would be in the sun. If you let it harden, it'll be incredible. So the tin, it's just going to be gorgeous. Paint directly on. That's it. Done. And waxed. And that's over. And of course, this is just the beginning. There's so many other things. I've got a book here, of course, and there's lots and lots of techniques in there, from stenciling to rubbing back to all sorts of 30 ideas for upcycling. So is there anything can go wrong when you paint? No. Really, it's up to you. Just get into it, start painting, and don't worry about it at all. There really isn't anything that you can go wrong with. I mean, actually, in my book, I've got some color ideas because I know some people are really nervous about color. But, you know, I'm actually called the color queen. And it's not just because I use bright color. I also use lots and lots of neutrals. And there are some great ideas here, let me get them, about how to work with neutrals. So you take your neutral base and then you add 2 other colors, and it tells you all about it here. It's based on complementary colors and you can't go wrong. So the only thing that's going to stop you is yourself.
What an absolute treat to hear from Annie Sloan, the woman behind one of the most accessible, sustainable and creativity igniting tool in the DIY world. So whether you're painting your first flower pot or transforming an entire room, Annie's message is clear. You can do it. You don't need fancy tools, endless time or a background in design. Just a bit of chalk paint, some curiosity and the confidence to begin. Her story reminds us that sometimes the best ideas come from the busiest corners of our lives, and that true innovation often starts with a simple question. What if there were an easier way? If you found this episode inspiring, be sure to give it a like, hit subscribe and share it with someone who needs a little creative spark. You can find links to Annie's paints, books and more in the description below. Thanks for tuning in to the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel, where we celebrate smarter living in all its forms. From health to home, food to finance, and creativity that knows no limits. Until next time, get messy and just paint. We'll see you soon.